everyone. Welcome to the Hunyah Show Queen to Queen, where pageant queens discuss mental health and daily life challenges. Today on the Hunyah Show Queen to Queen, our expert is Miss Voluptuous Canada Central, Michayla Guy is an experienced disability and resiliency expert working in the field for 8 years in multiple capacities. From the nonprofit sector to education-based and motivational speaking, a philanthropic leader, community activist in 2024, Miss Voluptuous Canada Central, Michayla is a proud Indigenous disabled woman whose personal experience empowered her to use her voice to teach the next generation to how to disable the label. Through her service project, the Real Resiliency Project, which is inspired and taught thousands about their purpose beyond the label. A student success advisor in Ontario College, Michayla supports students with disabilities and believe in their abilities and skills necessary for their future education and career. In Spirit Time, Michayla is a baton twirling dance and pom-pom coach. Welcome, Michayla. It's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. I'm super looking forward to this.
And I know you're going to be representing Canada in July, so that's pretty big.
Yeah, representing Canada at Miss Voluptuous International.
That's amazing. Okay, so my first question is, how did you begin in pageantry?
So when I was younger, I did baton twirling, and a component of baton twirling is we have what's called Miss Majorette. And it is basically like a mini pageant. So you compete in interview, modeling, and then a solo, and either a marching or an extra routine. So really, I got into the world because of baton twirling. I was constantly competing. I was a world champion athlete, competing since I was very young. And when I decided when I was younger that I wanted to be those girls who wore the really big dresses, because in baton twirling, you don't get to wear a ball gown or any type of gown until you're in the advanced levels. So I always said I wanted to get to that level where I could wear the gown. And so when I retired because of an injury, I found the world of pageantry, and that's how I kind of got started. And it was actually through my best friend Jewel, who kind of encouraged me to try doing this form of pageantry rather than like the Miss Majorette baton twirling pageants.
Wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that because I've heard of the word baton twirling, but I don't know what it is until now. Okay, so Michayla, how does your title play a role in advocacy and disability awareness? I know disability is trending a lot right now. It's like it's in the news. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of disability advocacy. How does your role go in there?
Absolutely. So I grew up with a disability in school and was oftentimes told that I was a waste of space in the classroom and that I would never be able to go to post-secondary education because I was not intellectually inclined. And so when I became an adult, I wanted to prove to people that I wanted to be the best and the best in the field. I wanted to prove to people that people with disabilities can accomplish their goals. And so when I got into pageantry, obviously I wanted to carry that legacy with me, and which is why I went into the career that I did, is because I'm always advocating on behalf of students with disabilities. So when it came down to pageantry, I developed the Real Resiliency Project so that I could teach students with disabilities how to believe in their identity as being somebody with a disability, when society gives these like negative labels on us. So that kind of slowly turned into, teaching everybody a little bit about how to take their identity and turn it into an empowerment statement so that they're proud of their social identity. Because oftentimes in society, we're looked at as, these types of social labels. So as an Indigenous woman, as someone who's disabled, I'm plus size and I'm a woman. Those are negative labels that society has put on me. So basically, I teach people how to take those negative labels and turn them into a form of empowerment. So a lot of my advocacy is based around going to these big speaking engagements and teaching children and youth a little bit about how to turn these labels into like an empowerment statement.
That's amazing because I can relate to that too. Like I've been temporarily disabled, and the one thing is like that turning into an empowerment statement, that is good because you turn the negative into a positive
Mhm.
uh impact, and it really changes the way how you think and how you approach the stuff. So that's interesting. And I know that you've interviewed many different pageant queens as well. You're also a director of Royal International Miss Canada as well. So that's like that's like the kind of thing that you want, that you're working towards your advocacy, that when you're in nonprofit and education sector, you're also doing it in pageantry. So that's just amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it kind of carries into every component of my life. I did compete in Royal International Miss Canada for a number of years. It was about 4 years, and because we didn't really have directors towards the last year, they asked me, because I know I've been in the system, I've competed 3 times internationally, and they asked me if I'd be the director. I was a little hesitant at first, but now it's kind of turned into this kind of support in this community that I can cultivate with my girls. And now I'm sending, we went from having 2 girls from Canada representing at Royal International Miss, and now we have 5. So it's
Wow, that's
slowly getting there,
amazing.
slowly getting
Yeah,
there. And we're having our very first in-person pageant very, very soon in December. So it's going to be really exciting.
that's amazing. Okay, so Michayla, what advice would you give to others on being resilient and being a person with a diagnosis? Because with me, I feel like I can relate to it too. With me, it's anxiety. So what about you?
Absolutely. It's believe in your abilities. When I grew up, I didn't understand who I was and what I was capable of. So oftentimes, people are telling me, oh, you can't go to college or university because you're not smart enough. So when you start believing in your abilities, you start developing that confidence to achieve those goals. And any goal it's not impossible. Like when I was in grade 4, I was told that I was not smart enough. People with disabilities don't go to college or university. And I took that and ran with it. I failed every single grade in elementary school, and I took it, and now I have 2 degrees, and a master's degree, and now I'm working on a career consulting certification that's more aligned with my job. And so it just goes to show you that once you believe in your abilities, and once you start, doing these empowerment statements and really starting to be the person that you want to be, and not caring about other people's opinions, that's when you're going to start achieving your goals.
I agree with you because I can relate to you in this thing as well, because I remember in school that it was with me, it wasn't the teacher, but with me it was mostly like the kids in there. Like I got told so many things that I couldn't get ahead. And now when I see myself on New York Fashion Week billboard, I'm like, what happened to them? Like
Mm-hmm.
I got ahead and they didn't. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, you never know when you're gonna end up somewhere and the other person, they're not gonna get ahead, and then all these terrible stories and stuff. So that's amazing that
Mm-hmm.
of doing so much while being told that you couldn't do anything in school. And sometimes I think it matters on the teachers, sometimes it matters on the groups, the social
Mm-hmm.
groups.
Absolutely.
hmm Okay, so Michayla, my last question is, would you like to share your social media handles? Where can viewers find you and pageant queens support you in your journey with all these amazing things that you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So my main account that I'm really active on it's at Real Resiliency. That is my public speaking account. It is also my pageant account. So that is where you can kind of follow my journey from now until I compete at internationals. It's also where, I share kind of my daily life. A lot of the times, like it's kind of like my personal diary on social media. So if you would like to follow me there, if you're interested in competing at Royal International Miss Canada, it is at Royal, and then it's INTMISS.Canada. And that's another platform that I use typically. And then I'm also a baton twirling dance and pom pom coach. So if you're interested you're in the Brampton area or you're in the Georgetown area, we have classes from 3 years old all the way up. We have adult classes starting soon. And we have everything from recreational classes all the way to competitive and world athletes. So if you're interested, it's at Starlight Destiny. On all of those are on Instagram. And then I'm also on TikTok, and it's also at Real Resiliency as well.
Okay. That's amazing. So, to the viewers, be sure to find Michayla on the Real Resiliency Project on social media, and I know you're very active on social media. And also, tune in to the Hunyah Show and Hunyah Travels for our next episode. So, thank you. Bye.